Ladies and gentlemen, today this meeting is being conducted with the purpose of defining the legality of the use of prosthetics in the Olympic realm. Recent events have brought into question the idea of using certain types of prosthetics, and many of you here today are under the belief that the IOC should be more accepting of disabled athletes. I would like to welcome Mr. Nathan McCurry, high-achieving student from the University of Tennessee and chairman of Second Opinions from the United States of America, to the podium as he delivers some new insight into how the IOC should handle the use of prosthetics. Welcome, Mr. Nathan McCurry.
Thank you, Delegate from Ireland. I'm so glad I have the opportunity to speak to you all today. As an engineering student from the University of Tennessee and as a passionate follower of the Olympic Games, I have been very interested in how the International Olympic Committee is regulating prosthetic devices in competition. Through my countless hours of research, I have found that many prosthetics give athletes who use them an unfair advantage. There's a wide range of options for prosthetics that disabled athletes can use in competition, and the number of options are tenfold if you consider countries with high GDP. According to the New York Times, in an article they released entitled Paralympians' Equipment Raises Debate on Fairness, researchers found that approximately 2,000 athletes utilized the free prosthetic workshop that is offered to disabled Olympic athletes during the Games in 2012. Technicians in the workshop reported seeing a wide variety of devices, ranging from homemade devices, as pictured here, to high-tech machines worth thousands of dollars, as you can see here. If we are to say that the Olympic Games is a fair and supportive environment that welcomes all athletes, we must even the playing field. Certain countries who compete in the Games simply do not have the same resources as other countries and are therefore immediately put at a disadvantage. I would like to bring to your attention a very familiar case, the case of Oscar Pistorius. When Mr. Pistorius competed in the 2012 Games, the world was so impressed by his athletic capability, and the world was just so in awe when we saw him advance to the semifinals in the 400 meters. We were so sad to see him get knocked out of the competition. Well, I will have you know that feat was not all based on athletic achievement. According to David Upstein in his article Unfair Disadvantage, it is proven that Pistorius was at an advantage over the competition. Due to the flex foot cheetah pictured here that Oscar Pistorius used in competition, he was able to swing his legs at a faster rate than the normal human, and while doing so, using less energy. It was measured that when an athlete using the flex foot cheetah impacts the ground, they are using less force than someone with two abled legs. Because of the difference in prosthetic, Pistorius had an unfair advantage. I would next like to discuss certain practices that are currently being used in the Paralympics that have been in discussion of being used in the Olympic Games. In the current structure of the Paralympics, athletes are initially assessed to determine their level of disability and how much aid they are being given from their prosthetic. Athletes are then divided into divisions so that they are competing against other athletes who are, quote, equally capable. According to Elizabeth Bresson in Striving for Fairness in Paralympic Sport, she writes about how so often athletes are placed in the wrong division of competition. They're either placed too high or too low because of the difficult nature of assessing one's disablement. Elizabeth calls on the fact that preparation and training can easily skew the results of the initial assessment, and I fully support her opinion. A competition as large of scale as the Olympics must do a better job at ensuring the competition is fair and the standards are equal. I would next like to propose to all here in attendance and to the International Olympic Committee watching at home that we stop this repeated practice of unjust competition and create a more streamlined method of evaluation. I've come to the belief that the best way of ensuring the competition is fair is for the International Olympic Committee to ration prosthetic devices to those requiring legs and who wish to compete. This is the most fair method of leveling the competition, as all disabled athletes would be competing with the same prosthetic and would not be able to bring with them a device that outclasses their fellow competitors. Every athlete who qualifies for the Olympic Games and who requires a prosthetic leg to compete would be given this IOC-issued prosthetic to use during the Games, and it would be the same make and same model for every athlete. This would ensure the Olympic standard of equality and fairness is upheld. Now, to my fellow followers and fellow committee members, to the countries tuning in across the globe, to my community, to my family, to my friends, who I love so dearly, I urge you, do not let this unfair practice of qualification for the Olympics continue on. Don't let our treasured pastime continue to be corrupted by modern technology. Learn from the mistakes of our past, such as the Oscar Pistorius case, and understand that we need more uniformity among prosthetics in the Olympics. Brothers and sisters, I am asking you today, nay, I am telling you today, help me to restore the Olympic realm to its former glory. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Nathan McCurry, ladies and gentlemen.